What's good, guys? Coming back at you with another voiceover workout. Let me know what you think of that kind of edit intro. Um, didn't really do much vlogging, so kind of just filmed the workout, filmed us getting to the gym, put it all together so that you could see roughly what I did in the gym and just something slightly different for you. So yeah, let me know what you think. Today was deadlift day, and this is Jack Connor Fitness on Instagram. I've trained with him legs before. Intense workout, hitting 220 for 8 reps. That's a PB for him as well. So smashing it really. We started strong and just continued in that fashion all the way through. So this was I came and joined a little bit late, so I was still warming up when he was hitting his working sets. But this was my 140, so my last warm up. Obviously, in the previous video, I hit 180, which was a PB for me. So I was quite keen to do that again, and maybe even push it a bit further. So this was 140. Felt easy in comparison to only sort of a month or a few weeks ago, really. So pretty happy with that. Decided to move up to the big 180. Now PB is usually maximum effort. I think I've probably got more in my tank here. This certainly didn't feel as easy as when I pulled it the first time. Bearing in mind I am still in a calorie deficit. I'm currently just over 6 weeks out from my first competition, so to be maintaining strength and maybe even gaining some strength, especially in the deadlift anyway, I'm actually quite happy with that. So I decided to jump up and try 200. It's a goal. I'd love to get that round number 200 on the deadlift, but as you can see, somebody came along with their super sticky super glue and stuck that bastard to the floor. But I think I knew within about 5 seconds of pulling that, I put everything into it. The bar was bending, but the weight just was not lifting. So decided to move on from that. We went to hamstring curls now. This was intense. You can only really do this sort of training with a partner, so it's really good to have somebody to train with. But hamstrings, they're such a difficult muscle to kind of get to grow in terms of size, I feel anyway. And what we're doing here is incorporating kind of max effort on the eccentric contraction. You're super strong on the eccentric contraction, which is why putting anything down like a stiff-legged deadlift or even a deadlift is easier than trying to get the thing up. But what we were doing here was we had a kind of medium heavy weight. We'd contract it up as much as we can, and then your partner puts force on the pad on the way down, and you're forcing against it basically, so it kind of almost doubles, if not just increases the load on the way down. So we've done a couple of sets of that. We've done a couple of normal sets before going into these ones. As you can see, these really did affect me afterwards. They're quite hard to walk after you've pumped the hamstrings up, because you can't really get much movement through your hamstrings. But then we went into drop sets. So here we're just again using that medium to heavy weight, kind of around. When I talk about medium to heavy, guys, let's talk about intensity. So you're working at about 75-80% of what your maximum effort, like maximum 1 rep max, would be in terms of strength. So you want to be working at a really high intensity. I've mentioned it before in other videos. Keep the intensity high through your workouts, especially if you're training for hypertrophy. So here, just on the first drop down, as soon as you can't get that full contraction, do a couple of partials and move on to the drop. The first 2 stages aren't, you want to burn out, but you don't want to completely like knack yourself so that you can't do anything on the second 2 drops. I love to try and target myself on drop sets that if I hit 10 on the first set, then I'm going to aim for 10 plus on the second set. If I hit 10 plus, or say if I hit 11 on the second set, I'm going to aim for 11 plus on the third set. That's my target. It's not always achievable. Sometimes it's literally just down to the fact that you cannot squeeze that muscle anymore. But it gives me that psychological advantage, that little kind of edge to try and push myself a little bit harder. So here, this was the last set, and as you can see, I got to a point where I couldn't contract it right the way up, so we've done some partials at the end just to make sure we're keeping that load and tension on the hamstrings. Then moved on to the seating hamstring curl. This is something I've only recently started incorporating into my hamstring workouts because I never used to like the machine. I never used to feel it very well. I used to get a bit of lower back pain. The pad on your knees, especially if you incorporate, especially if you're doing a whole leg workout, so your quads are pumped. Here I had a little bit of quad DOMs from my workout on Monday, but it wasn't too bad. Just got to concentrate on what you're doing. And on these ones, we're just trying to hold it at the bottom. So again, reasonable intensity, sort of 70-80% in terms of 1 rep max percentage, but working sort of a 95% intensity, so really just going to pretty much complete failure. And then as you can see here, Jack's just helping me down with the ones that you can't get that full contraction on, which just gives you that little bit more. Hamstrings, like when you work them really hard, and I'm sure a lot of you know, it's really, if you just absolutely smash them and then just try and stand there and curl your heel to your bum, body weight, just lifting your leg up as if you're going to do a quad stretch, that is really difficult. Your leg feels so heavy. We finished off with some stiff-legged deadlifts on the hamstrings anyway, which actually is probably the best thing we could have finished off on, because my hamstrings felt so pumped and so tight that this was actually quite relieving to stretch them out. We did move up to 140. Jack done obviously a lot more reps on the 140, whereas I probably hit 4, maybe 5. But this was 100 kilos, which I dropped back down to after 140. We've done about 4 sets of these. Get a nice big stretch through the hamstrings, stick the glutes right back, and just go for it. Obviously, you cannot finish off a leg or a workout without training calves, especially if they're a lagging body part like mine. So we did hit about, I think, 4 to 5 sets of calf raises, maybe a little bit more. And here I'm just getting a big stretch at the bottom, big contraction at the top, and then as I start to get tired doing that, I'll just hit a few kind of momentum reps, if you like, so using the stretch reflex and just kind of maybe partial reps, just really taking the load onto the calves and getting them pumped up. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please do not forget to leave a comment or a thumbs up if and only if you enjoyed this video. I'm not telling you to leave a thumbs up, just if you enjoyed it, please let me know, because it does help the channel, it helps me. Any suggestions for future videos, let me know, and if you want to see more vlogs or anything, then just put it in the comments, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.